As Iran continues to pound Israeli and the US bases in the Gulf, the possibility of attacks on American soil is being discussed at length. The Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Federal Counterterrorism Authorities in the US warn that Iran can hit the US without confronting the US militarily. US newspapers are reporting intelligence assessments on how Iran can carry out attacks inside the US. Iran can activate sleeper cells, carry out cyber attacks, besides triggering lone wolf attacks. These reports say Iran can influence its allied militant groups to conduct attacks on the US. Reports suggest these low-cost, difficult-to-trace forms of retaliation, which do not require large military deployments, can cause harm to life and property in the US. The US President Donald Trump is not oblivious to the threat, as he talks about being ahead of the game. He believes Iran will not be able to carry out any such attacks because the American intelligence apparatus had been far ahead of the Iranians. In a news conference on Monday, the US president said that Iran has been trying to harm the US for a long time, but they are on top of it. On top means that whatever the Iranians plan, the US intelligence apparatus will know. According to the ABC News, the US authorities intercepted encrypted communications believed to originate from Iran that may function as an operational trigger for sleeper cells abroad. Reportedly, the message began with "Tawajjo, Tawajjo," which is Persian for attention. This was followed by a random string of numbers. These signals were broadcast shortly after the death of the former Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Sleeper cells are undercover operatives who blend into communities as ordinary civilians and stay inactive to avoid suspicion. They activate only after receiving a signal from their organization. Another mounting concern among the US intelligence network is the possibility of self-radicalized individuals acting independently. A report by the Los Angeles Times notes that law enforcement officials are watching for potential lone wolf attackers inspired by the Iranian rhetoric or propaganda, particularly in regions with large Iranian populations in America. In another update, the Department of Homeland Security issued bulletins warning of retaliatory attacks on the US soil. It asked the citizens to remain vigilant against potential drone attacks launched from vessels off the California coast. Now, the question arises if Iran has the capability to carry out any attack on the US soil. The US believes Iran has been behind plans to carry out sabotage in the US. So, the former Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, wrote in his book that operatives linked to Iran's IRGC attempted to hire assassins to kill him and the former National Security Advisor John Bolton. The US Justice Department later charged the IRGC member Shahram Boursafi with trying to arrange Bolton's assassination for $300,000, though he remains at large. Then there's the case of Trump's assassination attempt by an Afghan national based in Tehran, allegedly acting on behalf of the IRGC. Reports claim that Iran has previously carried out cyber attacks targeting the US financial institutions and corporations, demonstrating an ability to disrupt networks and infrastructure without escalating to open military confrontation. Other than the discussed unconventional methods, Iran may have more options to retaliate against the United States. In his analysis of the conflict for the Wall Street Journal, Yaroslav Trofimov notes that Iran retains other forms of leverage, particularly its ability to threaten global energy markets. Even after heavy US and Israeli strikes, Iran still possesses missiles, drones, and naval mines capable of disrupting shipping through the Strait of Hormuz, an energy corridor where 20% of the world's oil supply passes. While Iran says oil will reach $200 a barrel if strikes continue, the Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian outlines 3 conditions to end the war. The first is recognition of Tehran's legitimate rights, then payment of reparations, and firm international guarantees against future aggression. Whether Iran ultimately chooses to employ such tactics remains uncertain. However, the possibility of retaliation beyond the Middle East is increasingly weighing on the security calculations facing Washington. Let us know in the comments what you think the next move for Iran will be.